This gets better as we go along.
Az has got the stronger mindset because he knows, our man Daniel Dubois knows that Usyk is getting older. Daniel Dubois is on a run of form, which is exceptional of late. I know Usyk's had a good run of form as well, but there are arguments.
I feel like they robbed me out of that.
Yeah, you feel like you're robbed from a victory?
Yeah.
Tony Bellew isn't holding back, and in doing so, he's lighting a fresh match under the already sizzling fire between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. By casting doubt on Usyk's reaction to that infamous body shot in their first encounter, Bellew adds not just analysis but controversy. He stops just short of outright saying the punch was legal, but his tone betrays sympathy toward Dubois. You can feel it. Bellew believes Dubois might have landed a fair blow.
Do you believe it was illegal? I do.
I thought it was illegal or legal?
I thought it was illegal. It's called a protective for a reason.
Yeah.
He hits the protector.
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's below the
It's a
navel.
low blow.
The navel's essentially
What's your thoughts, Carl?
I thought it was all right.
Did you?
Yeah, but I'm back. I'm a man, so no.
No. We've all got to go on. We've all got to accept this right now. Was it good for you? It wasn't good. It wasn't.
An undercurrent of belief shifts pressure back onto Usyk's shoulders. Now in this rematch, Usyk isn't just squaring off against a rejuvenated Dubois. He's up against a swelling wave of opinions suggesting he folded the first time. That's a dangerous narrative for a fighter who thrives on mental dominance. Bellew doesn't stop there. He digs into Dubois' psyche and points to something stirring in the young Brit's mind. A darker, more...
Is that a body shot?
But Daniel Dubois has got a lot of demons to revisit, and he's going to revisit them in this fight. I think he's in a different place mentally now than he was before the first fight. I don't want to say he's grown up and mature, because I think he's the same fighter as he was. He's just, his mental approach is going to have to be different.
Dangerous shift. It's not necessarily about technical evolution. Bellew's conflicted about whether Dubois has grown skill-wise, but mentally, there's something brewing. A fire, a recklessness, a belief that vengeance will fuel violence. Bellew all but warns Usyk, Dubois may be tactically similar, but emotionally he's a new beast, and that emotional fire might make this fight more unpredictable and more explosive than their first encounter. Enter Daniel Dubois himself, and it's
He's been down a few times with body shots, so yeah, there's definitely this time I got to throw this kitchen sink at him, you know.
Yeah.
clear he's not talking redemption anymore. He's talking destruction. This isn't about points or proving people wrong. Dubois is coming for vengeance. In his mind, he was robbed. That body shot should have changed everything. He's still seething from that moment, and he's made his intentions crystal clear. The phrase kitchen sink isn't just colorful talk. It screams desperation, danger, and fury all...
I'm going to go with what his manager said, what Usyk's manager said, Aegis. Aegis came out, he said, this time, we're not fighting Daniel the boy, we're fighting Daniel the man. And I think that's the difference. You know, since that Usyk fight, which he was an underdog going into, and he showed that his punch power and hurt Usyk.
All wrapped into one. Dubois isn't playing chess this time. He's bringing war, and the one place he's aiming, the body. He's doubling down, tripling down. Usyk, in Dubois' mind, can't take a body shot. That's where the entire game plan now lives. It's not elegant, it's not fancy, it's primal. And if Usyk isn't fully prepared for that assault, he could be...
Usyk is a class act, a mature individual because he's older and wiser, comes from a completely different background. But Daniel Dubois is growing into himself. This will be one hell of a fight. This will be a proper fight, like all of the Usyk fights have been.
Walking straight into a firestorm. Frank Warren, Dubois' promoter, is right behind him, pouring more fuel on the blaze. Warren isn't talking like a man selling tickets. He's talking like someone who genuinely believes his fighter is about to shock the world. Daniel the man isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a battle cry. Warren believes the once timid Dubois has hardened into a knockout threat. And if that's true, the Usyk that took a knee in 2023 might have far more to worry about in 2025. If Dubois truly rocked him once, what happens when he does it with more control, composure, and intent? Simon Jordan now jumps into the mix, offering one of the most balanced yet ominous takes so far. He's not dismissing either man. He gives Usyk his due. He sees Dubois' growth. But Jordan isn't here for soft opinions. He calls this what it is, a war. And in war, anything can happen. There's no longer talk of mismatch, of inevitable outcomes. That air of certainty is gone. What we have instead is tension, thick and unshakable. Jordan's words suggest everyone's bracing for an explosion, not a decision. Next up, Amir Khan, and he comes out swinging and...
This guy's a beast. He's a good fighter. He's a hard fighter to beat. And I think he'll learn from the mistakes he made in the first fight against Usyk, and it will give him a hard fight. Look, he has the tools to win that fight.
Port of Dubois. Khan doesn't sugarcoat it. Dubois is a beast, not just in strength, but in mindset. Khan senses something: growth, maturity, a calculated edge that wasn't there before. It's a dangerous blend. Khan has been in fire before. He knows what it's like to stand under pressure and deliver. So when he says Dubois has the tools to stun Usyk, it lands with weight. He's not hyping, he's observing, and his belief shifts the tone of the conversation. More than that, Khan alludes to Dubois' secret weapon, his capacity to learn. If that's true, if Dubois has truly processed the pain of their first encounter and turned it into progress, then this rematch takes on an entirely new complexion. But there's a caveat. Usyk isn't your average champion. He's been through wars. He's never panicked. He's never broken under pressure. So while Khan's take is persuasive, it adds pressure on Dubois more than it removes it, because now, the world expects transformation, and Dubois has to deliver. Now comes Duke McKenzie, the veteran voice of reason. His respect for Dubois is evident. He sees the changes, the discipline, the calculated aggression. He's not pretending Dubois is the same fighter from 2023.
I say, if he was fighting anybody else other than Oleksandr Usyk, I would pick him to win. But what they're convinced...
You think he is number 2 heavyweight in the world right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
But Duke is also clear. His loyalty lies with Usyk, and that statement cuts to the core. Against anyone else, he'd back Dubois. But Usyk, not a chance. This is key. It frames the rematch as something far more epic than a revenge mission. It becomes a question of mastery versus raw ambition. Usyk isn't just another challenge. He's a once-in-a-generation tactician who's mentally dismantled elite fighters on the grandest stages. And worse for Dubois, Usyk already owns psychological real estate in his head. The question looms large. Has Dubois really grown enough to handle the chess game Usyk will inevitably bring? Then comes Johnny Nelson, and he throws a grenade into the discussion. He questions something no one else has dared: Usyk's mindset. Nelson reads into Usyk's words and attitude, suggesting there may be signs of mental fatigue or emotional drift. That's a bold move. Usyk is known for discipline, precision, and icy calm. So if Nelson sees cracks, it forces everyone to reconsider. Has the war in Ukraine, the relentless grind, or the pursuit of legacy taken its toll? If Nelson is right, this rematch becomes a trap.
Out already. He's Usyk talking like that. He's got 1 foot out already. If he's talking like that, that means, as far as I'm concerned, I sense his appetite is slipping away. He's very professional, gets the job done, knows what he has to do in the ring and in training. But to me, he's now 1 foot out.
For Usyk, a hungry Dubois versus a distracted champion is a recipe for upset. But Nelson's claim isn't guaranteed. Usyk has never shown a hint of emotional weakness before. He's carved his legacy out of cold execution. Is Nelson stirring the pot, or did he spot something real? If he's right, Dubois doesn't just have a puncher's chance, he has the psychological edge. Now George Fox steps in with the technician's lens. He acknowledges the elephant in the room. Dubois has thunder in both hands. That kind of power is a nightmare in the heavyweight division. But Fox doesn't stop at praise. He talks timing, precision, execution, the kind of traits you need to survive and beat someone like Usyk. Fox isn't just giving advice, he's issuing a warning: overcommit against Usyk and you'll get picked apart. Wait too long and the window closes. Dubois will need more than brute force. He'll need patience, clarity, and nerve. That makes Fox's insight a blueprint, but also a cautionary tale. The question remains, can Dubois execute the plan under pressure, or will instinct take over and lead to mistakes? Because against someone like Usyk, there's no margin for error. Now comes Eddie Hearn with a more measured take. He sees the potential for upset, but it's all...
Heavy puncher. Both hands carries dynamite. It's just going to be a case of picking his moments, believing in his work, and there are 3 or 4 fundamental things that he must do. And if he does them...
All about timing. Usyk has been out of the ring longer than ideal. Meanwhile, Dubois has stayed sharp, stayed hungry. His cancelled fight with Parker may have delayed his rise, but it also kept him in training mode. Hearn, a man who's promoted some of the biggest fights of this era, is never careless with predictions. His subtle nod to Dubois' opportunity is powerful. Still, Hearn hedges his bets. He's not planting a flag for either man, and that indecision speaks volumes. It reflects how evenly matched this rematch has become in public perception. The factors are stacking up, but so are the doubts. Now Tyson Fury steps in, and as always, his words carry weight and venom. He offers what sounds like a casual take, but it's layered in psychological warfare. Fury reminds everyone that Dubois dropped Usyk with a body shot. That detail isn't random, it's a strategic seed. Fury wants Usyk thinking about that pain, that vulnerability, and with Dubois fighting in front of a British crowd, revenge on his mind, the pressure only grows. But we know Fury. Mind games are his specialty. His casual...
I think I'll give Dubois a shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but, you know, it's exciting. And I think definitely a...
Tone masks a deeper plan to keep Usyk mentally on edge, even from outside the ring. Still, his words can't be ignored. If Dubois cracks the body again, and if Usyk hasn't addressed that vulnerability, everything could change in one round. Dave Coldwell now brings a grounded perspective. He doesn't downplay Dubois' confidence, but he's quick to warn confidence alone won't beat a technician like Usyk. Coldwell highlights wear and tear. The Fury fights may have chipped away at Usyk's famed durability, but then Coldwell hits the real point. Usyk is a different animal. Twice he says it. It's not just about age or miles. It's about ring IQ, adaptability, and unshakable calm. Coldwell respects Dubois, but reminds fans that one body shot doesn't rewrite the narrative. If Dubois wants to win, he'll have to go through the full storm, and Usyk, even weathered, still lives in a different realm. Then comes Adam Smith, delivering what feels like a thunderous tribute. He doesn't hesitate. Usyk is the best of his generation, period. And Smith, one of the UK's most respected boxing voices, frames this rematch in historic terms. Usyk didn't just beat British stars, he dismantled them.
I'd rather fight right now, Usyk, because I want me revenge in England. That's all I want. I want my fair shout, and I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times.
Joshua, Fury, the best of the best, all methodically picked apart. That means Dubois isn't just fighting for revenge. He's fighting to do what 2 former unified champions couldn't, to break the unbreakable. And Smith's tone suggests just how monumental that task really is. Usyk isn't just a belt holder, he's a legend in the making. Lennox Lewis now delivers the final heavyweight voice, and when Lennox speaks, boxing listens. He gives Dubois his blessing, praising his growth, his hunger, and his transformation into a real contender. That endorsement is massive, but Lennox tempers it with realism. Beating Usyk isn't just about willpower, it takes more, much more. Timing, control, intelligence. Lennox believes in Dubois' readiness, but doesn't declare he'll win. That subtle distinction says everything. The opportunity is there, but so is the risk of collapse. And now we reach the final question. The stage is set, the war is here. This isn't just about belts, this is about immortality. Daniel Dubois isn't the same fighter who bowed out once. He's rebuilt, reforged, backed by legends, promoters and pundits who now believe. He wants revenge, and believes it's his destiny to finish what he started. But across the ring stands Oleksandr Usyk, the genius, the tactician.
Good fight. Where Dubois is now, he's very confident, very bullish. But Usyk's older, he's had more wear and tear. The fights with Fury have taken a lot out of him. Don't underestimate that. But Usyk's just, he's a different animal. It's a different animal. And ultimately, you got to remember, take away that one shot, whether you thought it was low or not, that one bit of drop.
The conqueror of giants. He's been here before. He's heard the noise, felt the doubt, and every time he's danced through fire with surgical calm. Usyk isn't just fighting Dubois. He's defending an empire of legacy. So who has more to lose? If Dubois wins, he becomes a national hero. If he fails again, his story becomes a cautionary tale. But if Usyk wins, he takes another step toward eternal greatness. This rematch will answer everything. Who adapts under pressure? Who lands first? Who dares more when the lights blaze? Because only one man will walk away a legend, and only one will be left asking, what could have been?